Good evening. Good evening, everybody. All praise be to God. I want to give honor to God who woke me up this morning and has me at work. I'm just chilling, enjoying the time that I have at my job to not be so busy and just relax. And I said, you know what? I got something that I want to speak on, I want to talk about. And I have something I want people to ponder on. I want to speak on a specific topic, and it may be a controversial topic, depending on how you look at it. And it is a controversial topic. Some people, when I say this, some people they don't know about this, and it's really interesting. And I suggest, and I want you to look this up, because I don't want you to take what I say and run with it. And don't believe me, go look it up. And once you'll see what I'm talking about, I think you'll find it quite interesting too. There is a video that's made its rounds on YouTube and social media, where a woman who is a part of the political system in Israel, I think she has political ties. She has some pull. She is a councilwoman, some type of, she's up there in the political ties in Israel. She's somebody. She's not a nobody, she's somebody. And she made some very interesting remarks in regards to the young black community here in America. And this is what she said, verbatim. The biggest threat to Israel, the biggest threat to the state of Israel, and let me understand this, worldwide, she's talking about the biggest threat to Israel, the state of Israel, is the young black generation in America, the young black community in America. That is extremely interesting. Unfortunately, she did not go into detail as to why she would make such an outrageous claim. What power does the young black generation have, or the young black community in America have, to be a threat against a powerhouse like Israel? Very interesting. What type of appeal, what type of, how can I say this? What type of, I don't know how you would say this, and the word, it escapes me. What type of power, I'm gonna just say power, what do we possess here in America as being young and black? What are we doing? What are we standing for that is making Israel, or this woman who speaks for Israel, say that black Americans here, young black Americans here, is a threat? What are we doing? What do we know? What have we found out? What is it? Because I can tell you, or I can prove to you, that we, the young black people here, there's a lot of people who don't think too much of us. There's a lot of people who only see the worst of us, and they don't think that we have any power at all. So what is it? I can think of some things, right? I can make some points, but I don't want to say what it is and it not be what it is. But she said something else that was very interesting. She said, but don't worry, we have a good amount, we have their leaders on the payroll. Don't worry, don't be concerned, because we do employ a lot of their leaders. A lot of their leaders work for us. And that's very interesting to me. I wonder how many of our so-called political leaders, evangelical leaders, Christian, so let me put the Christian leaders, I wonder how many of those people are compromised. Who are they? And you know what? I don't think it's hard to guess. I think there's a lot of political leaders or Christian leaders who are on the surface, they seem safe, but they've been compromised and they're bought. And they're bought and paid for. A lot of people, you don't have to guess who they work for because they're exposing themselves. The enemy has made it very clear that, hey, there's no more time being on the fence. You work for me, this is what you have to do. So a lot of people, there's nothing exposed, like I said in my past video. People are exposing themselves. But that's very interesting. There's a lot of information that suggests that the young black people here in America are waking up to our nationality. That's an argument that can be made. I'm not going to sit here and say that, because a lot of people, when you start to say that, hey, I believe that the black people here in America are Jews historically, that point can be made. But then when you start to talking like that, you get a lot of people saying, oh, you one of them Hebrew Israelites, which they start to label people. And I think that's very disrespectful to label somebody because you're uncomfortable or you don't want to have a conversation. So it's easier to label what you don't understand or what you don't want to have a common understanding for. It's harder to have a conversation and it's easier to label and walk away, right? Because for years we've been told that, hey, we're African Americans, we're from Africa, we had no ties to this continent, or not this continent, but the Americas. But I have a lot of content that I watch where these content creators dig up these old books from the 1300s, the 1400s, 1500s, and they describe the people in the Americas. And when they describe them, it fits the description of a young black male or a young black female. I will say this. There is archaeologists did a study here in America. They found a 15,000-year-old cadaver, found bones of a 15,000-year-old woman. Her name is Lucy. You can look this up as well. And when they tested to see the nationality, the race of Lucy, she was a Negro. So that goes to show you that here in America, black people have been here longer than what academia likes to say. Or we've been here longer than what academia says that we've been. And that has been proven, not by just me, but by scientists, honest scientists who've done the research and who've done the work. But I don't want to get too far off topic, but I just think that's very interesting, right? That goes to, when you say stuff like that, you don't explain it, it validates what a lot of these people, who say that, hey, we are Israel. We have genetic ties to Israel. That point can be made 1,000 different times. I mean, it can be. But I challenge people to don't take what I say as gold or as the truth. Go do the research and be honest with yourself and don't be biased. Go do the research. Go really dig into some manuscripts, books, and see how these things correlate. See what comes up, right? See what is consistent in the things that you find, right? Because there is a gentleman that creates content that I follow. His name is Amaru Khan or something of that nature, and he does history, and he creates content that focuses on the history of the Americas and the indigenous people of the Americas. I mean, it's the history that he has. It goes back centuries. and he's consistent, and the descriptions of the people that he speaks on, they have the same description of people who look like me. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying this because, or out of pride, or because I'm trying to get you to subscribe to anything. I'm not. But what I'm stating is that history, the people who have given us historical facts, or so-called historical facts, I think they did it in regards to how they wanted history to be perceived. So all I'm saying is, don't take the word of those who have made our history books, and those who have created those who told us our history in school, in national academia. Like when you go to school in your public school system, and they told you in history who was who and what was what and where people came from and what came first. Don't take that with a grain of salt and do your own research, right? I think that when you do that, you'll find some things very interesting. Now, back to this lady in regards to the number one threat of Israel. Why would we be that? That needs to be explained, and that needs to be brought up, and we need to have a conversation as to why she would say that. And don't take my word for it. Go look it up. You can go on YouTube and you can put in Israel's number one threat to Israel, black people. Just YouTube that. Number one threat to Israel, black people, or young black generation in America. In America. What are we doing? Are they concerned about the individuals who are waking up to history? Because let me tell you something, if this new information that we're finding in regards to who we are, or our nationality, possibly be who we are, if it is nothing and it's lies and it doesn't make sense, and if it's just a fad, it'll go away and you won't hear it again. But there's something different about this. It seems like it's going to be sticking around. And I think it's just interesting. I think that gives credence to what people are saying about black people. But you know what? Black is just a color. It's a crayon. It's not a race, not a nationality. There's no continent of black. There's no country of black. So, and it's unfortunate because it's unfortunate that we have to go through this and we have to question who we are. That's unfortunate. When people complain about us trying to dig into our history, our real history, and not what's been given to us, and they flustered and they say, hey man, it doesn't matter. Well, yes, it does matter, because if it was you would want to know where you came from. Now, we are all one in Christ. I agree with that. Absolutely. But at the same time, Jesus Christ was an Israelite. He was a Jew. And in the Bible, they made that specific to mean he is a Jew. So, yes, we're all one in Christ, but it does matter where we come from, and for you to know who you are, because then you can know where you're going. So, I think that we need to really inquire about why that lady would say that, and have a conversation with somebody, man. Don't see something, get so frustrated with it, and because it doesn't fit your narrative, and then shut down, right? And then go look for other things that combat that narrative because you want that to be true. Really dig into the information, right? Really get an understanding on what's true and what's not true, because you'll be surprised. So, but like I said in my short, I will make this statement again. Do not make your nationality your God. Do not make your nationality your God, because overall, Jesus Christ came to save everybody, not just black people. And Jesus Christ is coming back for everybody, not just black people. Matter of fact, he's coming back for the church. He's not coming back for white people. He's not coming back for black people, yellow, brown, Hispanics, natives. He's coming back for the church. So that's what's most important. So I just wanted to run that by y'all real quick. I'm going to finish my shift here at work, and I hope y'all have a blessed evening. All right, peace.